Kia ora whānau, how's it going? Hey, welcome back to Kaitiaki Mara Kai. This is Rewai Takau here, just doing a little bit of an update. I mean, working in the Māra and just settling in for winter. We're coming into the close of the lunar calendar in the Māramataka Te Ao Māori, and so this is the last, I suppose, marama, last month. We're coming into heading towards Matariki, which is the end of June, and this year it's going to be a public holiday on the 24th of June. They Friday holidayed it, and so I'm just going to show you what I've been doing in preparation for that, but also in preparation for the winter period, and show you some extra little things that we've got inside our Māra. So yeah, let's have a little nosy around and see what we got. Kia ora whānau. It's great to see you. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you like it, push the like button. If you're finding it helpful, share it on to others, and click that notification bell for other ones like this that will pop up. Okay. Might as well show you right up front. First thing that we got is, look at these little babies. Well, not babies, but we've got a couple of chickens. They're not laying yet. They're supposedly a couple of days out from laying. But we've got two chickens, and so we're wanting to have our own eggs. And I'm also trialing out here, learn how to raise chickens and look after them before we take some out onto the whenua. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to effectively use this coop as a chicken tractor, where they'll obviously live in here, lay in there. We'll put water in and food in the back, but all this grass area, I want them to clean it up, poop in it, and in so doing, eventually that'll turn into dirt, and then I'll progressively work down this way, all along here, and create a little garden bed that our chickens have populated with chicken poop, and digging it up as that one's doing there. So those are little additions to the whānau, and we just going to experiment with a couple of chickens here, like I did with the bees. Got one beehive and then expanded it from there. Anyway, here's what she looks like inside. Mari, what you up to? Hey, what you doing down here, lady? Anyway, that's the inside of it. Thanks to Tony and Linda for the chickens. We're coming to the end of our summer stock, so unlike other parts of the country, we're still pretty warm up here, like it's about 18 degrees at the moment, and so our tomatoes are still growing. It's really the last of it. So we're just, as you can see, there's still basil down here. Once she stops, and because I'm just bagging these and putting them in the freezer really. So that's the tomato patch that we had. Went really well. I've got frozen tomatoes for sauces, and as you can see, it's all starting to slowly die off. Picked the last of these. I'm trialing out garlic this year, and so I think I did a little clip of planting garlic. So at this time, all I did was take some garlic from the shop, break up the cloves, plant them with the pointy end sticking up, and so at the moment we've got these coming through. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, waru, hiwa, tekau, tekau matai, rua, toru, wha, rima. Yep, tekau mā rima ngā hua. So we've got 15 garlic shoots. We'll see how that goes. So this is another experiment that I'm just trialing it out on this little plot here. Dug it up, put down compost and manure. We've got all this ugly weed here coming through, and so I'm just trying to suppress it whilst allowing the garlic to grow through. Garlic, I believe, is an 8th month harvest type of vegetable, so it's going to be another 8 months before this comes to harvest, and effectively it'll be when these shoots start browning off. So yeah, I'll just keep you an update on that. But yeah, 15. I pretty much had just planted them rows, and as I say, just trying it out, give it a go. So that's my little garlic one. And as you would know, and here is our big Māra for the backyard that we had this year. With all the trees, particularly the ones that drop their leaves, not the evergreens, you can use the fallen branches like mulch. So I've done that here. I've just cleaned up the leaves around the front of the church, and I'm just shoving it under the hua whenua to try to suppress the weeds. But the weeds is always, you know, I'm doing a little bit each day. Here's the last of the other tomatoes we had along our tree here, so it's still getting some. And along the back here, remember we had initially we'd planted tomatoes along here, so now we've got bok choy, cabbages, some more cabbages. These ones here are quite amazing. These are the broccoli. Silver beet's still going quite well. Capsicums that are in that bunch there, I thinned them out a bit. Here's another little broccoli, one there, and these ones are growing quite well. I think we've now just about finished. I'm not really sure what to do with these. Do we leave them to die off or pull them out? Anyone who's growing capsicums or peppers, we're still getting flowers coming through here, so give me a message, send me a message about what you do with them. Do you just let them, do you trim them back or pull them out? Are they things that grow annually? Yeah, you know, gives a heads up. Although we've got one just come through here. It's all about learning, growing together. Now they've got chickens, see these little snails? You can pick them off and give them to the chickens. Ouch. Yeah, so the broccoli will grow through and flower, and it's the flower that we eat. So that's the nice big ones there. Actually, that's the biggest I've ever seen broccoli in regards to height. Normally they're just small like this down here, but these are big. So we've already harvested some. Here's one that's getting a bit of away on us. There's another one coming through. And remember where our kumara was? This is where our kumara was. So we've put in some, this is probably the latest lot of vegetables that we put in. So we've got spinach along there. These are our cabbages. Either cabbages and cauliflower or a mixture, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, they go pretty well. And then along the back here, I've got some silver beet that I've planted in. And what kind of vegetables are these? I'm not quite sure, I think. Oh, cauliflower, there you go. There's a cauliflower. And oh, look at all those bugs. Oh, look at them all. Here come they. Well, I'm going to feed those to the chickens. Come back and do that after. So that's the cauliflower. Some cabbages down in there. you can see how all the snails and the white butterflies had eaten away. So now that that part of the season's finished, yeah, as you can see here, they're not affected as much. So this backyard garden, we've had a harvest of kumara out of here, and then I've planted a different crop. We've had potatoes along there, and we've planted a different crop. And once I harvest these, I'll just dig all this back in, and then put on a new layer. Partly too about putting down either the mulching bark, which is that brown one over there, or the leaves from around the trees that have fallen, like what we've got here. Is it just adds good nutrients back into the soil. And now that we've got chickens, as I go around and clean off the leaves of all the snails, then I'll feed those to the chickens, and in turn their poop will come back into here and all that type of stuff. We've planted some of this back up on the papakaiing as well. So yeah, we're pretty stoked with the season and the garden. This year we've had really different crops, and so we've got 2 crops there, 2 crops there. The kuma is bagged and stored. The tomatoes, we've still got some. I'm bagging those and storing them. The potatoes are the same, we've stored those, and I'm going to keep some of them. I'm going to try growing some piru this year, and when it comes into spring, September, October, I'm going to try growing them. Yeah, and I'll probably do those out on the land, because I don't get out there as much as I do in here. I'll do things that need to a lot more care in the backyard in regards to our whare, whereas things on the land like potatoes, piru, longer growing ones like the silver beet, and some other vegetables that take a little bit longer, as opposed to harvesting quickly. Like with these here, for example, I had to keep cutting those and giving those away. Yeah, we'll just have a look at growing. The side of the garage that I had my tomatoes in, that's all died off. Where we've got our pumpkin, so you'll see that's all died off and reverted back. So I'll pull the stakes out and clean it up, and I'll probably end up just doing this as pumpkin next year. Planting a whole lot of pumpkin and let that grow. It was a bit difficult with the tomatoes along that side, staking and all that. But yeah, so we've got plenty of kai going into winter, and so these are pretty much our winter vegetables. I'm not going to plant any more now. I've heard locally for here, and this is where you need to understand your local conditions and the environment and the effects of that environment, alongside some of the things that the Māra talks about. Is really we're coming up to Queen's birthday weekend next weekend, and for the soil up here, that's really the last weekend and you want to plant seedlings for Northland, as I understand and what I've been told. Someone else might have some other revelation on that front, but we planted these a couple of weeks or 3 weeks ago, so those are really the last, both here and on the whenua. We harvested, I put down compost, and then we replanted these in here, so they'll grow for us. And effectively we've now got our winter vegetables. Josie loves broccoli. We've got storage of kumara, potatoes, pumpkin, tomatoes, storage of onions. The herb garden is going okay. It's kind of looking a bit funny. I'm not sure what to do there, so I'll ask Kay about that. We had vegetables over here, mainly tomatoes, and so yeah, those ones there I'll give to the chickens. Yeah, so this is our backyard. Feed jars came through like crazily, so there's another fruit that we like. And now our onion, well, these lemons are now ripening up, so we've got a whole bunch of lemons coming through. So yeah, eventually I want to, with our chickens, coming back to them and finish off with them, just learning how to look after them, raise them, control their feeding, their eating. If you've got ideas of how to make a little run, I actually want to eventually allow them to run around the backyard here, but not necessarily into the garden per se, although this is quite well established now, so they'll only be eating around the foliage and the bottom of it. But I am thinking of this, like you see on the little door here, is creating a bit of a run for them so they can actually get out and forage around and clean up stuff, and if I get some of the snails I can then just drop it down into the runner. Yeah, but you've got a simple way of doing that. Gives a buzz and let us know. But yeah, hey, thanks for joining us, eh? Thanks for having a look and see what we're doing. And yeah, say I'm not an expert, but I'll try things. And that's the thing about Jason and I life. We just get out and do it. Never mind talking about theory, never mind sitting around on a table and theorising about stuff. We just get out and give things a go. We've done that all our lives. Rather be known for our actions than known for our words, as some people are. They do a lot of talk but no doing. We do a whole lot of doing, and we wonder why sometimes we're a bit naked. But hey, I'd rather see this grow, and you know, our fridge is full of vegetables from our own stuff. And you just got to try. Look what we're doing here. Never grown garlic before. Watched a few things on YouTube and had a chat to a few people around here who are gardeners, and I said, okay, let's give it a go, see what happens. You don't know until you try, and that's the same with whether it's the garden, with faith, praying, asking the Lord to help out in something, and just following Him. And the same too with chickens. I've got a friend, Heather Shaw, in the military. When we were at the headquarters at 1 Brigade, we were there together working. They had, her and her whānau had chickens, and that kind of inspired me to want to have chickens. And so there you go, Heather. We've got some now, not as many as you, but we're learning, and hey, we'll see how it goes. I think the coop's a bit small because those are big chickies. But anyway, it's a start. And yeah, eventually we'll just bring them down this way and create another little bed in here. Clean it all up. Okay, whānau, hey, ka mihi atu kia koutou I tēnei wā. Mā te atu koutou manaaki te aki, ngā wā katoa. Hako ko wai, hako nohia. Whakatau mai te rangi Māori ki rungi a koutou. I te wā e tai atu ki Matariki, ki te tauhau, I raro I te kaupapa o te ao Māori. Yeah, get out in the gardens, whānau. Although, you know, I suppose down the line you fellas are a bit harder down there because of the environmental conditions. But it's all about forward planning. As one produce or one crop comes into harvest, you think about, okay, what I'm going to put in here. Yeah, all right. Hey, give us a thumbs up if you like this, and click the notification bell. But anyway, thanks for watching.